to the motherfucking News Underground. We're gonna do this real quick, dog. I got just a little bit of time, and we're gonna slam one in, baby. My apologies. My apologies to your big dog, Lenny, who is currently streaming at this very second. If you are not subscribed to Lenny, or you have not followed to Lenny, get your ass over there and do that shit immediately. Very sorry, Lenny. I know you're holding it down. You're doing your own thing right now. Very sorry to my boy Lenny, but I have very little time. I have a very little window of time. I wanted to wait as long as possible. But big props to your boy John Axel and Chem Goblin. We're number ones in the chat. Exactly. Like I said, this is the News Underground. I am Abandoned Nihilism. This is the number one source for news on Twitch, the hardest core motherfucking place to talk about politics, bar none. We're not a bunch of pussies. We know what we want. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. Our mothers taught us right. Our parents taught us right. We're not here to fuck around. We're here to get shit done. Follow that 3-step program to create real political change, because I'm sick and fucking tired of living in this fucking hellhole. And I hope you are too. Welcome back in this motherfucker. It's Woke Patriot. Let's get to it. We're going to be covering just a smattering of news today. Various subjects. Of course, sponsored by Garbage Fuel, the number one drink mix company in the world. Garbage Fuel, made from 100% garbage juice. Sourced directly from your fucking dumpster out the back of your fucking building. Get it right. Drink the fucking good. Drink the juice. Drink the liquid from your fucking dumpster. Thank you so much, Garbage Fuel, for sponsoring the stream. Very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. A lot of spit. I did a lot of spit on that one. You know, I was surprised to hear Putin won the election. I thought Navalny was going to win it out, you know? Like this close. Locally sourced through your fucking rain gutters, you fucking drinking animal. We're going in a new direction. We're going in a new direction. Full belligerence, 24/7. We're just belligerence. Ad hominems and belligerence. Get a little coffee in me. This is what happens. Get a little coffee in me. But no, I was shocked to hear Putin won the election. Did you hear this? Amazing. It was a tight race. Tight race. If you weren't slipping on banana peels, falling out of fucking balconies, your ass was getting poisoned or just straight up arrested. That's democracy. That's a democracy right there. Why did I do that? It's embarrassing. Stop this. No one's wearing boots with the fur, man. You can stop it now. Forgot the ticker. But welcome back, Woke Patriot. Thank you so much. And, hey, Davey and I are fighting about Social Security in the Discord. What can I say? You're wrong, Davey. I love you, buddy. I do. But you're dead wrong, man. And you're repeating like Rush Limbaugh talking points. Anyway, we'll wait for Davey to get here so he can defend himself. What up? It's Rob. It's ROB, one of the OGs. One of the OGs to the News Underground. Welcome back, ROB. Looking handsome as ever. All right, folks, enough bloviating. Let's get to the MFN show. MFN show for families. Make sure you get your kids, get them real close to the TV. So we have Icelandic volcanic eruption.
In Iceland, spewing ash and lava into the air. Just look at those pictures. A geophysicist who surveyed the eruption over the weekend says it's the most powerful so far. Officials have ordered evacuations in a nearby town and at the famous Blue Lagoon. Despite the eruption, Iceland's airport remains unaffected and it's operating as usual. Joining us now is Christopher Hamilton, planetary volcanologist and associate professor at the University of Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Laboratory.
This guy's like, I can't wake and bake today. I can't wake and bake today. But I'm going to look at my bong the entire time. No, I'm kidding. Come on. No, this guy seems like he's a real professional. He seems like a real outdoorsman. That's what's going on. This guy, he's spending a good chunk of his time investigating volcanoes. What a cool job. I'm always jealous of those scientists that have a legitimate reason to spend a bunch of time outside, right, collecting data and stuff. It seems like the perfect job. Wonder if volcanic activities result from Earth heating. Probably from watching too much TikTok. I drank all day, even my food had booze in it. Oh my God. That honestly sounds like a nightmare. That would be torture for me. It'd probably make me sick for at least a week. All right, let's get back to our volcanic expert here. I 100% believe he's an expert in volcano. I don't know what it is about him, but he's got volcano written across his face here.
Christopher, thank you so much for joining us. You've been to this particular volcanic eruption. Can you just give us some sense of what it's like to be there, what you see? Because the pictures are absolutely beautiful,
yeah, I wanted to show you
that they
these
can
pictures.
be very destructive as well.
Yeah, well, today would be a horrible day there. It's close to freezing, rainy, and high winds. This area, although it's really close to Reykjavik, is actually very, very remote and largely uninhabited. And the first few years of the eruption took place in a part where there were no people. It wasn't directly affecting the town, and everybody had a fantastic show. That has changed since December, when the eruption site moved much closer to the town of Grindavik. It's a very active fishing port, a very important site.
Thousands of gallons,
this has really
millions of
changed the
gallons of
overall
liquid
character.
rock.
So it's absolutely beautiful when it's erupting. It's in this absolutely wild and rugged area. But now it's actually affecting a town and infrastructure that's a concern to the entire country.
Wow.
Yeah, there was an emergency called by authorities there. I do want to ask you about whether or not science is getting closer or is in a good place to try to predict when these happen, because I think there have been 3 eruptions the past 4 months.
You know, one thing that's really wild to me is that the heat at the core of our planet is the residual heat that was created when the Earth was formed. It's, you know, because you think, well, there's surely there's some kind of heat generation going on there, and there probably is. But you think about the you know, how the whole thing started from, and just think how hot that is. You know what I mean? Think how hot that is. That something could be so hot that it could stay hot for this long. Surely there has to be some kind of, maybe it's gravity and friction causing some of this heat. The gravity, the pressure pushing down. Is that, maybe that's what's also, maybe I'm totally fucking wrong. I should probably just listen to Chris. It's hotter than your hot tub? No way, dude. My hot tub stays steamy. My hot tub is my shower.
Yeah, the science is actually really getting much better for being able to understand the inflation. So basically the whole area is a part of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is moving on to this peninsula. And the area is almost breathing as magma comes into it. And you can see that from satellites and from GPS.
Almost breathing,
so people have a really good idea of when the ground is swelling. But what's happened is that the area has been so cracked with hundreds of thousands of earthquakes since 2021 that now
Davey,
it's kind of leaky.
I have that queued up.
So
we're going to be talking about that.
You can think of a magma chamber as like a pressurized keg.
Right,
and when you tap it, you get a really high discharge rate in the beginning, and then it wanes. But now that keg is really cracked with all these different eruptions, and so the warning time is going to be much shorter. And in fact, for this most recent episode, the largest of the episodes we've seen since December, and in fact, during the entire span of the eruption, there was very little warning. So it's a changing character. We can predict it, but not to the hour, but we can certainly see it to when with particular days that are going to be at risk.
I think we talked about how many earthquakes. You said hundreds of thousands of earthquakes have happened since 2021. Were there quite a few? Do you see quite a few before you start seeing this eruption? Is that an indicator?
He's got the money and assets, so they're just going to have to liquefy his assets.
Yeah, no, that's a very good
volcanoes,
point.
Guys.
So in 2021, there were actually 40,000
Trump is not more important than volcanoes.
For about the month leading up to the eruption, and everybody in the country in Reykjavik and Grindavik was feeling it, knowing that something was changing. So the earthquakes do typically continue up until the last moment
it's
when
crazy
the magma
seeing
gets
that
so
bubble.
close to the surface
it's liquid rock.
From there it just bursts through in a single event. But seismicity is a major indicator
look at that. It's
for
a view
the
from like
movement
a
of magma
resort
as it's
or
traveling
something
towards the surface.
What do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear when you are standing close enough to experience, not be putting yourself in danger, but close enough to experience this kind of eruption?
Look at this is beautiful. This is like One of
so
the most beautiful images of the year.
So they're
right
dominated by lava flows that are being emplaced, and they're moving over the ground, and they're radiating a lot of heat. If you were to look at them, they're really glowing a red and an orange. It'd be like opening an oven. You can just feel your skin begin to dry.
It's blasting.
And there's also in this area a lot of moss and vegetation that begins to burn a little bit. Last summer they were referring to it as Mossdor. Those burning sort of Mordor-like area. And so some of the smoke can be an issue. And in the instance here, if the eruption does make it to the Svi, that sort of general soft, slow character of the lava could dramatically change with interaction with seawater. And really the main ones are when you begin to get to hot lava interacting with seawater, it can produce a chlorine gas, which is extremely nauseous, and even hydrofluoric acids. So while some of these eruptions are just beautiful to be able to sit back and watch, if it does become an ocean entry, and it's really just a few hundred meters away from potentially getting to an ocean entry point, then the character would change and be very dangerous.
Wow.
How quickly is the lava moving? Because
come on, lady, come on. Are you kidding me with the how quicklies? Okay, it's just the same footage over again. This guy's an absolutely adorable cuddle bug, and I would love to bury my face in his hairy chest. That's all I'm saying. Thank you so much, Chris, our volcano expert. CNN, get some better questions here. I don't know, man. Chris knows a whole lot more about this. You're asking him some real base level stuff. But I just wanted to show you, just want to start off with that. And yeah, we're going to be getting into Trump. Yay, everyone, yay, Trump. Then we can talk about Trump now. Yeah, isn't that great? No, yeah, okay, great. Let's get to it. Yeah, okay. Nothing I love more than talking about this fat idiot who's going to destroy our fucking country. It's not the lava that'll kill you. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's probably the fumes or the heat, right? You'll probably be dying from the heat before you even get anywhere close to that shit. Bubbling out of the earth, man. But no, as Davey posted here, when he found time to not shit on Social Security, he found the time to post this link. By the way, folks, if you have not subscribed to Lenny, oh my God, Rob. What the did he do that? No, can we talk about this, dude? Trump, he doesn't have the cash on hand. No one wants to give him a loan. Apparently there's some kind of bond or loan he could get. I don't know. Sounds ridiculous. He does have the liquid cash. He just doesn't want to give it up. But anyway, if he doesn't pay in like 7 days, a couple days, like a week, dude's gonna have to. They're gonna start liquefying his residence. They're gonna start liquefying his building. Trump Tower in New York, dude. That's probably gonna be number one. Go after Trump Tower. That building is awesome. It needs a different name. Trump Tower is like this. It's like Mordor. And speaking of Mordor with the lava, but it's this beautifully gothic, a brutalist monolith. The Trump Tower. It's a gorgeous building. I hate saying that, but it really is. Like, it totally checks every box for me. It's this dark, evil, menacing, brutalist, like I said, monolith. Super imposing. Exactly the way I would want a skyscraper built. I hate that. I hate that I'm saying that. But it's like, yeah, put a different name on that. Watch, just some other billionaire slaps his fucking name on it. Former President Donald Trump has not been able to get a bond to secure the $464 million civil fraud judgment against him. Shouldn't he just cut a check? The Goblin Tower. I love that. That's top 3 right there. Goblin Tower, man. That's a great name. Not the death martyr type, just feeling their persecution complex. Goblin Citadel. Ooh, that's even better. See, now we're cooking. What's a bond? How does this work? You get a bond to pay can poor people do this? Is this a rich guy thing? This is a rich guy thing, right? What's this bond? Who would want to invest in what is this? Help me pay back my debt for fondling a woman who didn't want to be fondled. This is a rich guy thing, right? I don't know how this works. Poor people can't do this. When we fuck up and they say you got to pay this, that just comes out of our bank and our assets. We don't go to, hey Frank, you want to pay my legal bills for fondling a lady in the office? No. It's called a bond. You want to get in on this? Get in on it while it's hot? Give me a bunch of money? No, I don't want to do that. All right. So, Rob, if he's got the dough, how come he's not cashing the check, man? How come he just doesn't cash the check? He's a big baller. That'd be a big baller move. How much? 464 million? How about we just round that up to 5? 465, cuts the check, throws it over. Poor son of a bitch, I don't give a shit. Once I become dictator, I'm going to get that money right back, bitch. That's the baller move. Not, I can't pay this. Oh, it's so much. That's a lot. Oh, I don't know, man. Oh, I don't know. And then continue to defame Jeannie Carroll, by the way. She's thinking about another lawsuit, dog. Shut the fuck up. But no, she's thinking about another fucking lawsuit because of the continued libel. He doesn't stop. She might be totally able to sue this guy a third time. Civil fraud judgment against him. His lawyer saying a court filing Monday. Trump and his attorney, blah, 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 posted, blah, 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 blah. They need appeals, blah, blah, blah. God, I hate this Trump fucking court crap. Quote, defendants' ongoing diligent efforts have proven that a bond in the judgment's full amount is a practical impossibility. The filing said these diligent efforts have included approaching about 30 certi companies through 4 separate brokers. This is rich guy stuff, right? What the hell is this? I've never heard of this. I've heard of like a bail bondsman who fucks you over, right? But gets you out of jail early. So this is like the rich guy version of that? Is that what this is? Kind of a bail bond kind of thing? Oh yeah, go ahead, put my address on there. That's great. Thanks so much. Google. So useful. Oh, this is so fucking good, dude. I don't understand, dude. I don't understand it. I don't understand. Yeah, big room. I don't understand it. Oh my god, that's so fucking good. Do we have to do politics? Can we just listen to music all day? All right, anyway, he can't get the fucking money. Why don't you just cut a check, Mr. Baller? Huh? Slide that money out of your golden ass, you son of a bitch. Certainly bond is a legally binding contract ensuring one party keeps its promise to another. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah. No wonder no one wants to sign that shit with Trump, dude. He invented not paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? No wonder. His record speaks for itself, man. This guy leaves a trail of debtors wherever he goes. People owe him money. Or he owes them money, I'm sorry. Yeah, he wishes. If someone fails to keep their promise, a certainly company will compensate the party who experienced the loss. Okay, so it's like, okay, I see. But why would you do this in the first place? Just to help the guy out? Then the party at fault for breaching the contract will have to pay the certainty back. Okay, so this is rich guys who want to help each other out, but they know they're rich, corrupt idiots, so they want to guarantee, hey, look, yeah, okay, sure, we both you know, go to the same golf course together, and, you know, yeah, I got half a $1 billion. I can give you $500 million. I can loan you $500 million. But you got to do this contract here that says you're going to pay it back because I know you're a corrupt son of a bitch just like me. And, yeah, no, you're going to be forced to pay that shit back. So it's legal. It's literally a legally binding contract that says you have to do it and that you're guaranteed to get your money back. But even then, people don't want to do that with Trump, right? Because what is Trump's goal when he becomes president? Wipe it all out. You know, he's going to find some way to not pay anybody back, even with a certainly contract or whatever the fuck, right? So literally they're like, no, he wants to become dictator. He's going to find a way out of this legally binding contract that should guarantee my satisfaction, guarantee my restitution if he doesn't pay it back. I don't even trust that. That's how untrustworthy Donald Trump is, dude. That's pretty wild. But it's crazy. The guys that don't want to bail him out will totally vote for him. And they're like, yeah, no, that's great. Fascist, corporate authoritarian dictator with a, pretend businessman. Yeah, bloodbath. Yeah. That's legitimate. Motherfucker over here talking about a bloodbath. All right, I don't want to diverge anymore. Their efforts, including countless hours negotiating with one of the largest insurance companies in the world, have proven that obtaining an appeal bond and the full amount of the judgment is not possible under the circumstances presenting, the filing said. Wow. So they say, look, no one trusts us. It's too much money. We can't pay it. So that's not the court's problem, right? That's not the people's problem. That's your problem, rich guy who likes to fondle authors. This is your problem, dude. Right? Oh, that's a lot of money. We can't get that kind of scratch together. No one wants to post our bail bond. Yeah, that's a you problem, right? Am I wrong about this? How is any of this the people's problem? You just mortgage Mar-a-Lago for the cash? Yeah, he drastically overvalued Mar-a-Lago, which actually is part of the lawsuit. Yeah, I know. By like 4 times, dude. It's apparently the fucking Tartarus, right? It's much bigger on the inside. The other bond companies will not accept hard assets such as real estate as collateral. Fascinating. Even with a building, like New York real estate is no joke. It's a Doctor Who thing. But will only accept cash or cash equivalents, such as marketable securities. Interesting. So shit that they can liquidate without any problem. I don't want to put a building up for sale to get my money out of this. I want to be able to liquidate quick and be on with my money. You're not gonna drop a property that is now I got to worry about selling a building, right? I'm not going to be doing that. So that's interesting. They don't want to do that. The filing said the lawyers also noted that companies typically require collateral of approximately 120% of the amount of the judgment, which would total about $557 million. So it's over $500 million, and I think I've heard some other people agree with that. To require the 120% of the amount of the judgment. Wow. Like I would get a 20% increase in small. Yeah, claim it. No, I mean strategy. It's just totally insane because they're like, oh well, everyone does it. Everyone rounds the numbers up a bit. Everyone fudges it a little bit. I'm not the only one doing this. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe that might be true. A couple feet here or there, right? A discrepancy of a couple square feet. Okay, yeah, that's totally possible. No. He like 150 extra. I mean everything, dude. The overvaluation was insane. And like the problem is, it's not just words. It's not just, oh, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? I didn't say that. No, they put this shit on a piece of paper and they signed it. And they said, this is what we think. This is what we know. We are certifying this. We put our name behind this. So, but Trump would be like, well, we should have the ability to hide all that from you. And, you can't disclose any of these contracts and whatever. In addition, sureties would likely charge bond premiums of approximately 2% per year with 2 years in advance and upfront cost of $18 million. The filing said that $18 million would not be recoverable even if Trump wins his appeal. So they're out $18 million just for doing this, just for doing the bond. Because of the bond premiums. Once again, I thought this guy was a billionaire. Jeff Bezos could afford this. Jeff Bezos would cut the check and, float home on a pile of Amazon Prime boxes. Collateralized, whatever. He doesn't have the money, and he's going to have to a 30-day automatic stay of judgment. Blah blah blah. James' office has argued that Trump should put up the full amount. James would not need additional court order. Unjust, unconstitutional, and un-American. What's un-American about a criminal getting caught, convicted, and punished? It's actually a pretty fucking American thing, if you ask me. Right? It's called justice. Heard of it? No, Trump has not. Who am I, David Pakman now? A bond of this size would be abuse of the law. So here's how you commit a crime, guys. You just commit a crime so big, you know. Oh, that's cause $500 million of damages somehow, and you're good to go. It's obscene. It's obscene and abuse of the law for you to have to, you know, pay $500 million. Just do it big, man. Do it real big. You know, don't kill your neighbor. Like, blow up the dam, right? Cause $500 million of damage, dude. And you're like, you know, it's like the supervillain rule. Well, take me to Arkham. I'm mentally ill. Oh, sorry. Jeff Bezos would affirm and pay it over 12 months. Yeah, would use a firm. What's that? Oh, like a firm, you mean? All right, moving on. Fuck this. So, hey, did you guys know Trump is totally unashamed of the fact that he wants to be a dictator, and he's totally stoked about this idea of being America's first dictator? Did you guys know that? Well, here he is talking to literal piece of shit formed into a humanoid shape. Steve Doocy, who gets to pretend to be a journalist on TV like a big boy, over here, you know, I don't know if being a dictator's the right way, sir. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, douchey. Sorry. Yeah, correct. Sorry. But, you know, I don't know if praising Kim Jong-un is a good... This person who wringing his hands will, when Trump becomes president, will become a obedient, smiling servant of the Trump dictatorship. It's all about hedging. It's all about the reason Steve Doocy is uncertain about this direction into dictatorship is because he's unsure if Trump is going to win. If Trump wins, and, you know, I don't know, it's definitely 50-50 right now. But if Trump wins, he's going all in. Do you understand how shameless a person like Steve Doocy is? So listen to this. Here is Trump on a hot mic, speaking candidly. Kim Jong-un speaks and his people sit up in attention. I want my people to do the same. My people. Not the people. My people. And if you think none of this matters and that I have Trump derangement syndrome, I really, really hope you like the taste of boots. You know what I mean? I really hope you like being that doormat. That pathetic, pathetic doormat. It's no big deal. This is what America needs.
Are we close to seeing Mr. Kim here at the White House?
Could happen. I mean,
they talked about that yesterday with Mike Pompeo.
Yeah, I think it's something that could happen. Yeah. Hey, he's the head of a country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Mm-hmm. Don't let anyone think.
Okay, one more time. I was talking over it. Sorry.
Country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Mm-hmm. Could happen. Yeah. Hey, he's the head of a country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Mm-hmm. Don't let anyone think anything different. Right. He speaks, and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the same. Well,
right, and maybe his people that he's talking about is his cabinet. Right? Maybe he's talking about, you know, I want, you know, the people that I surround myself with to be, you know, flagellating and yes men and never disagree with me, and for out of the fear of death, out of the right. They're not praising Kim Jong-un because he's, you know, he's like Dr. Doom and he's a genius and you know, and he's like a legitimate genius and who's unparalleled in his physical and magical abilities and like he, you know, he's something worthy of worship. No, Kim Jong-un is a fat slob. Arrested development over here, looks and acts and thinks like a 15-year-old boy, chugging down cognac while his fucking country starves to death. The reason why the people around him snap to attention is because they will be fucking murdered if they don't. Not because he's worthy of worship. But does Trump care about any of that? I know I'm not worthy. I don't care. This is what I want, and I'm used to getting what I want. This is how dictators think, authoritarians think. It's really interesting that, when he got, because you hear about all the pushback that he got when he was in office, right? Like he really was expecting to be sitting there as a dictator, as a CEO. You fired, you hired, I get to do this. Go ahead, do that. My decree is this. My decree is that. And he got pushback from every direction. Even the military, where he's supposed to be commander in chief, they're like, no, we're not going to nuke a hurricane. That kind of shit. So it's interesting that And then what happened was that he got bogged down in his own personal narcissistic battles to really challenge that effectively. And I think that's going to be a big priority. And we see this with Project 2025 when he gets in charge. A big, number one, it's going to be just like with the RNC. Number one, first thing is, this. The whole everything. Anybody in my way, day one, whatever I can do legally or even extra legally to get these obstacles out of my way. And then we're driving forward with an emotion-based agenda of massive corruption, of just like, well, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me? Okay, yeah, okay, Dow Chemical. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you want to dump some poison into our waterways? Well, what are you going to do for me? I got this rape case that I could use a bond, someone who wants to secure my bond to pay back this rape case. Eastman has plans to use the Insurrection Act against anyone protesting against Trump if he wins. The sky's the limit. Because because from their perspective, it's an existential fight for their existence, with the biggest obstacle being democracy. Apparently, there was a headline, I think it was yesterday, Trump was shocked to hear about how actually unpopular he is amongst, the entire American populace, not just his little sliver, right, of sycophants. Apparently, he was shocked to hear that. I would like proof on that. Because I think this fucker knows exactly how unpopular he is with a grand majority of people. And the plan is to force those people in line through fear and intimidation, of course. Anyway, I just thought I'd remind you, Trump is a legitimate, disgusting, authoritarian, yes, fascist. Godwin's law, oh! Moving on to our next horrific story. If you are new to the whole Palestine-Israel situation, yeah, big room. If you're new to this whole situation, this might come as a surprise to you. And I'm not trying to be a dick or insulting here. If you are new to this story, if you're new to this information, you're kind of coming, realizing just how one-sided this conflict is. Sorry, there we go. This might come as a shock to you, but if you have been paying attention to the Israeli-Palestine conflict for any amount of time, you would know techniques and tactics like this are actually extremely common by Israel, by the settlers, and as you can see here, protected and enforced by the IDF. But here we have Israelis pouring cement on water springs, water wells, in the West Bank of Hebron. This is a common occurrence along with uprooting olive trees, burning farms, poisoning water wells, and demolition of Palestinian homes. So this is not their land. This is not Israeli land. These are all, I think this might be a Palestinian, maybe. I think some of these people are just, they have to watch this. They have to watch this happen on their own land and their own property. And if they resist, if they fight back, if they use violence in any way to defend their home, guess who's going to use their American-made assault weapons to shoot and kill exclusively Palestinians? See how they're standing guard here as this operation. Now, of course, they say it's safety, or we're doing this for this and that. The reason why they're doing this is so that people have nothing to come back to. The same exact tactics we're seeing, expanded upon and accelerated in the Gaza Strip. They're kind of doing it in a, this is how you do it slowly, right? You take one step, you kill everything behind you, right? You take one more step forward and you kill everything behind you. You make all that shit behind you uninhabitable until they finally acquiesce, and then the houses and the settlements. Because what they'll do is, once an Israeli moves in here, they'll remove the cement, which is something the poor Palestinian is going to have a really hard time doing, right? It's very cost prohibitive, but not for a rich Western, New Yorker who bought a West Bank, who won an auction for a West Bank home, freshly built on Palestinian soil. No problem. Oh, what? Why is there a cement plug over this water well? Oh, come on, let's go. Lift it up. And I bet you Ben Gvir wants to give those settlers who want to remove cement plugs a break. Maybe sometimes. That's probably too far. Anyway, let's hear what is this person speaking English? No. I'm not sure if this person's speaking Israeli or Palestinian. So as you can see here, this enforced by the IDF. They, like I said, if they fight back, if Palestinians fight back against this, they shoot them dead. And it's like, oh, well, they were terrorists. They attacked us. We went on their land. We poured cement into their water well. They fought back against us. I mean, could you imagine? Someone walks in your living room, takes a dump on your kitchen, and then, but he's got like soldiers behind him, pointing guns at you while this guy's taking a massive shit in your kitchen. And you're like, well, what the fuck can I do about this? They're like, nothing. You should leave. You should leave. You should leave right now. We're going to continue taking dumps in your kitchen. And Uncle Sam is like, okay, well, don't do it again next time. Okay. Oh, well, all right. That sucks. But, don't do it again. Okay. Okay. We won't. No. Yeah. So we'll make Ukraine the final thing. Let's go ahead real quick. I meant to do this one before the Israel story. But I wanted to show you just to give you a little taste of what you can expect, neoliberal government or right-wing government, let's be frank, when it comes to real estate. But this is the kind of chicanery that we're seeing that is not being punished, that is causing your rents, your cost of living to go up. These secret cartels, basically, ripping you off. And what are the neoliberals going to do? They're going to invest in real estate companies that are doing it. They're not going to make laws to protect you. Bernie Sanders is going to be dead in 10 years. He's like the last one even talking about this stuff. Yeah, AOC's throwing you a couple token slogans here and there. But where's the legislation, Progressive Caucus? Where's the legislation on this stuff? Oh, well, we can't make the neoliberals look bad. It's election year. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Progressive Caucus, for having the balls to really challenge the status quo. We got to get Joe Biden into office. We got to compromise all of our values. It's important. It's like, yeah, no, it is an existential fight, but what is wrong with forcing Joe Biden to make some progressive promises? What is wrong with that? Oh, we can't do that. We can't apply any pressure whatsoever. Oh, no, we can't. Oh, no. Thank you, Falaraz, by the way, for the follow. But you know what I'm saying? The Progressive Caucus does no leveraging of whatever power they have. Meanwhile, maniacs like MTG and Boebert and Matt Gaetz and Mike Johnson, extremists, can change the reality of the fucking battlefield in Ukraine and Russia by leveraging their political power, can change the entire landscape of their political party by force. But the Progressive Caucus, oh, we can't do it. Progressive, oh, no, we can't do it. Oh, we can't do anything. Hey, Lenny, very sorry I overlapped you. I tried to wait as long as I could. Folks, welcome back, Lenny. Number one safety concerned streamer. Accidents waiting to happen. He was streaming just a couple minutes ago. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to Lenny. If you like my content, you're going to love Lenny. Get your ass over there and follow. Very sorry, Lenny. Don't mean to step on your toes, bud. Isn't BlackRock Development the largest home buyer now? Yeah, the big room. And do we think the neoliberal Democrats have a problem with BlackRock? Oh, well, American capitalism needs to be defended at all costs. This is the kind of shit that's going to get wildly... You think it's out of control now? Wait until the right wing take over. And all the restrictions are lifted. Do whatever you want, man. Go nuts, BlackRock. Buy up whole cities and jack up the rent all at once in the same day. Go nuts. So you think this problem's bad now? Wait until the right secure power and completely dismantle any regulations that are preventing this from getting, you think, out of control. You think this is out of control? This is just the beginning. Listen to this.
Tonight, the Arizona Attorney General is calling it a massive scheme landlords are using to raise rent, and it has impacted hundreds of thousands of people in the valley. Today, Chris Mays announced a new lawsuit going after several major property management companies who she claims work together to artificially increase rent prices. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly has more on the allegations.
It may be one of the reasons why Arizona is in a housing crisis. Attorney General Chris Mays says this alleged scheme has been going on since 2016.
Money is tight right now for Mila Bazin.
Inflation is just too high for us right now, and it's going way up.
What's also going up for her? Rent.
We moved in 2021, and it was $1,400, and now it's up to $1,785.
Thinking it's just the way it is. But Attorney General Chris Mays claims it may be part of an insidious scheme happening to hundreds of thousands of renters in the valley.
They tricked tenants into paying more for rent.
What are we doing with these bookshelves? What are we doing? Woke Patriot, look at this. Look at the state of this. Look at the state of this. Anyway, this is not good.
Than they otherwise would have.
She filed a lawsuit against 9 prominent apartment landlords, including the one that owns Bazin's.
Now, this is great.
And a software company.
You could expect all this to go bye-bye, right? This is the kind of bare minimum shit that neoliberals are able to do once in a while, right? This is the kind of bone they throw us. Yeah, we're not going to put them out of business. We're not going to go after their profits. But, just like with Obamacare, right? Well, we're not going to punish, the insurance companies that are screwing you over. We're not even really going to go after their profits. But we will force them to help you, even though you had pre-existing conditions. We'll prevent you from being rejected at the emergency room hospital. At the hospital's emergency room because, you have cancer, but you also broke your leg. So we'll prevent that from happening. But I mean, they can still fuck you over. I mean, they can still wildly exploit you and charge you $3 million for insulin and whatever the hell. I'm being exaggerating, but you know what I mean. They can totally screw you over. But there's limits. So you can remove the neoliberals from that, and what do you have? Pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, charge $1,000 per pill. If you can't afford it, well, I guess your life isn't that important to you. Sky is the limit.
Called RealPage Incorporated. They control about 70% of apartments in the Phoenix metro.
Look at this. I'm interrupting this, but look at this chart right here.
Prominent apartment landlords, including the one that owns Bazin's, and a software company called RealPage Incorporated. They control about 70% of apartments in the Phoenix metro.
You cannot throw a rock in Phoenix without hitting a building.
They want more. 70 is not good enough. 80 isn't good enough. 90 isn't good enough. They want it all, And then listen to this. They're plugging all this shit into a fucking AI computer who's like, yeah, I think, people have about $6 left in their bank account, so we can jack that up just a couple more percentage points.
That was jacking up rents.
This is how the alleged scheme works. These apartment companies, who are supposed to be competitors, were colluding by giving RealPage their leasing information. RealPage would then put that into an algorithm that told these companies what they should charge. Typically 15% or more than other complexes.
And the algorithm is what it's looking for is how much can we push these people before they have to leave? How many more nickels and dimes can we yank out of their wallet before they just throw their hands up and just leave the building because they simply can't afford it, right? What's that threshold? Right? This is the danger of AI, right? This is what they want to do with it. They want to make our lives worse. And if we don't implement regulations on this stuff, it's just going to get worse. Oh, well, that's the market now. Oh, well, the market is some AI algorithm that has figured out, through your purchase history and, all these other metadata metrics that they collected from you, from your social media presence, just how many nickels and dimes they can pull out of you. Well, that's the market now. We have no choice. Sorry, the market makes up for it. This algorithm that we've created to completely fuck you over is now the market, and you have to deal with it. You have no choice. Give up.
Deceiving tenants into thinking they were getting a fair deal when really it created a monopoly.
This was not a 70%. Fair market at work. It was a fixed market that harmed renters while driving up the profit margins for this housing cartel.
Mays says it caused renters to pay millions of dollars more in rent.
With the way the world is going, I'm not shocked at all.
Bazin is now considering leaving at the end of her lease.
We're pretty scared to stay here. We don't know if they're going to up it.
But knowing just how many could be part of this, she doesn't know where to go.
And the AI algorithm understands that certain people are going to leave, but that you don't want everyone to leave, right? It's okay. Well, yeah, half a dozen people leave, whatever. We'll get plenty more people coming in. What we don't want is a catastrophic loss, right? Yeah, people come and go. That's business. That's okay. That's happened. And by the way they do it in Canada, it's really cute. It's really fucking cute. You literally have to be, the new tenants moving in is like there's no time lost for them whatsoever. Your lease ends, on the 31st. They're moving in on the 1st. There's no delay. So if there's like any complication where I need to get some more stuff, or I need to arrange this. No, it's got to be boom, boom, boom. And these motherfuckers in Canada, dude, will show your apartment. They will literally invite strangers. This happened to me. They will invite strangers into your apartment, fully furnished, because you give them a month's notice because you legally have to, right? So you give them a month's notice. Oh, they're like, okay, well, we're going to start inviting strangers into your home the whole month, by the way. It was every Saturday or something for the whole month. Random people coming in. It was an incredible breach of my privacy. Also this corporation that owns the building, that owns the apartment, isn't out any money, right? Oh, we don't want to spend a month showing the apartment when it's empty. We're going to lose a month's worth of rent. So we get to fuck your life up. It was unbelievable. And let me tell you something. You've never felt more uncomfortable. You've never felt more unwelcome than when you came into my apartment, right? When this landlord allowed you to come into my apartment. Oh, check it out. I promise you, you have never felt more welcome than when you walked into my apartment to show this off to strangers, dude. I was the biggest asshole to every motherfucker that walked through that door, dude. I just didn't say shit to them, man. I looked at them like they were invading my privacy, because guess what?
He says she is seeking restitution in this lawsuit. Meanwhile, we did hear back from one of the companies that denied any involvement in this alleged scheme. But if you're curious to know if your apartment complex is on the list, you can find it on our
70%. And that's not enough, man. 70% is not enough. They want 95 or less. It's like, well, I guess some of the government buildings we don't own yet. But they want to own everything. The BlackRock wants to own the entire city. Oh, and what are they going to do with that? They're going to make the rents go down, right? They're going to make our lives better, right? Nobody believes that, and yet we just all acquiesce. We just give up. Oh, it's too hard to change, says some in my Discord. Well, this is just the reality of things, and you just need to accept it. It's like, I got a hot poker up my ass, and I'm being told I just got to live with it. Right? It's like, well, you get used to it. You get used to it. You'll get used to it, dude. The fuck you do. Moving on to our next story. Niger, a word I have to be very careful about mispronouncing. Niger, junta, breaks off military cooperation with the U.S. Yeah, it looks like, it's going to be, authoritarian dictatorship, military dictatorship for Niger for the foreseeable future. And it's like, I don't, the way that the United States does its interventions, I don't even, it's not a guarantee, because we half-ass it. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll throw you a couple thousand troops and we'll do it for like 6 months and then we'll lose interest and let the whole thing fall apart. We don't know how to do this correct. Seemingly we just we want to go play with our toys. We want to go shooty bang bangs. But, oh, well, this is costing us a lot of money. But then on the other end of the spectrum, let's waste $2 trillion in Afghanistan doing jack shit when we had an opportunity to actually do something. I don't know, man. This idea, it's such bad news that the United States is, is being asked to leave and is, like, well, the way that we do our interventions, are we helping?
Yankee go home. That's the message from Niger's junta to the some 1,000 American troops stationed in the country.
The American presence on the territory of the Republic of Niger is illegal and violates all the constitutional and democratic rules.
Niamey's decision to tear up a military cooperation agreement signed in 2012 follows a coup d'etat last July. With softer diplomacy than France, the United States didn't call it a coup until months later. And despite a visit from an American delegation last week, Niger has made its mind up.
We are aware of the statement from the CNSP in Niger, which follows frank discussions at senior levels in Niamey this week about our concerns with the CNSP's trajectory.
Niger was one of the West's last allies in the Sahel region. In recent years, the United States had begun operating a major surveillance base in the city of Agadez, built at a cost of more than $100 million. Washington hoped its pact with Niger wouldn't just be to fight terrorism, but also stem the growing influence of Russia and its Wagner mercenaries in the region. Not so. The junta's televised address name-checked Russia as an important partner.
Yeah. The reason why this is happening is because they deliver. It's not much, but it's simple self-preservation. You get more when dealing with Russia than you do, right? What does the West give you? A bunch, yeah, sure, they'll inject your economy with a bunch of cash and hook you up with some weapons and stuff. But then all of a sudden, austerity, right? No, you can't pay your bills. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. All this screw you over. It's easier to deal with the damn pirates, easier to deal with the criminals. God, that's pathetic. We suck at this. The West actually sucks at this. For all of the intervention that we do across the world, we legitimately can't do it well. And, and I would say the reason why is that our motivation is not democracy. Our motivation is not helping people. It's some like Henry Kissinger style esoteric geopolitical, reason why we got to do this here because this is going to affect this over here and this and that, and this is going to help the U.S. empire some way. You know what I mean? It's not about helping the people in Niger. That's why this shit doesn't work. It was never about helping Afghanistan. It was never about helping the people of Iraq. From day one, it was never about them. right? Moving on over to fucking Russia. Yay. I'm in a great mood today. Russia releases bizarre dog propaganda video as it calls for an end to hate campaign. Quit hating on Russia. We're just trying to invade another country over here. So Russia-phobic. Now here's a book of Russian language that I'm going to stick a gun in your face and force you to learn. Oh, what's the matter? You didn't want your teenage son to get shipped off to a war to die without, and he actually didn't die in combat. He's missing in action. So, no benefits for you. Aren't you glad you were forced to sign up for the Russian way of life? Stop hating. It's interesting to me how the monsters of the world are the loudest in like pleading the victim. Right, and like pleading for peace and pleading for sanity, while right behind them is carnage and violence, and threats. Isn't that funny? Some of the biggest monsters in the world seem to be the loudest voices for peace. Very interesting.
That's my. Look at him, just a small one. Yeah.
Invading another country. No, yeah. Bucha massacres. Slickly produced clip. Was that Timothy Chandelier? It's Timothy Chandelier, guys.
Oh, hi.
Evening.
Are you here for the
Timothy.
dogs party?
Yep.
And who is this?
It's a Sandy, Siberian Husky.
Dogs party and orgy.
Party?
Yep.
And who is this?
It's a Sandy, Siberian Husky.
Huh? Siberian Husky?
A Siberian Husky.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And you're here with them.
Well...
Sorry, there's no place for y'all.
What the hell is this? Huh? What?
Are you okay? Yeah.
Everything is alright, yeah?
No, you can't listen.
Oh, man.
Sorry about that.
Wait. So you're rejecting Ukraine being part of Russia is like hating on? Is that the equation here? That it's like Ukraine wants to be part of Russia, and you're being mean. You're racist against this country because you won't let it into the party. You won't let it have all the fun. Is that what this is? Yeah, get out of here, Chandelier. What the hell is this? Oh, we want Ukraine to join the party. Go get him. Go invade.
Stop! Hi, he's dangerous.
Go invade.
He's Russian.
We gotta denazify. Go get Chandelier back. Yay! Atrocities every day.
Emma!
Bunch of pugs dropping bombs on innocent civilians. That's what we need. Yeah, go do it. Drop bombs on civilian apartments to get Chandelier back over to the party. Oh, it's so great. It's so great. Isn't it great when you acquiesce to a more powerful nation that's invading you and dominating you? Isn't that great? Just give up. The boundaries in your head, guys. Didn't you know? The whole world is Russian. There's no barriers. It's all in your head. You don't even know you're Russian yet. Join the fun. Join us. Join us. Stop hating on the Russians. Come on. That was confusing. I feel insane. I feel crazy after watching that. What am I actually supposed to think here? It's easier just Russia good. Russia good. That's what we're supposed to think. Russia's dogs, cute dogs, Russia good. People are saying this is AI. I don't think this is AI. If this is AI has gotten a lot better if this is AI. Oh, this is so bizarre. This is so weird. It feels like maybe the Kremlin propaganda department's kind of running out of ideas. I feel like this actually put like a lot of thought went into this though, about how like specifically how we're going to tailor this message, right, to gaslight people into being like, you know, the pro-peace position is Ukraine giving up. Oh yeah, no. Oh shit, okay. I thought my channel was, am I banned? What's happening? No, okay, I'm still here. That's weird. What happened? There was a network error. Is there some kind of error with Twitch? Some kind of Twitch outage? Is this a Twitch outage? What is this? I don't know what's fucking Mika Brzezinski. Excuse me? Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, there's someone in the chat. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, no, all of my, like my moderator tab, I had to reload everything. It was like network error, network error. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Whatever. I got one more video for folks. That's okay. About Ukraine, Russia. Analysis here. Ukraine has increased its attacks on Russia. Everything seems good. Thank you, Chem Goblin. Thank you, Davey, for sticking around and watching the News Underground. I do appreciate it. Even when we're butting heads, Davey's sticking around. You got to give him credit for that. You got to give him credit for that. He's dead wrong. My God, you're wrong. But you know, you're a glutton for punishment. Well, I guess we'll say that. But let's go ahead and get into this. Ukraine has increased its attacks on Russia. Here's why. Yeah, this is, I mean, look, you know, you got a bunch of psychopath, you know, separatist Russians that are giddy to, you know, raise some hell in Russia. And, you know, they just need a little nudge. And, hey, you know, Ukraine, it's undeniable to say this. Ukraine has successfully shaped these maniacs. And let me tell you, there's some real maniacs, okay? I guarantee you there's some SS tattoos amongst these Russian separatists. They're not pro-democracy separatists, okay, like they're being described in Western media. Ridiculous. Okay, they're actually maniacs. But Ukraine has successfully prevented them from killing civilians. Russian civilians of any kind, you know, or Ukrainian civilians, any civilians. They're going after military targets, right? You know, giving people fair warning to get the hell out of Dodge, while we, go to these military targets. That's a big win for Ukraine, quite frankly, because like, what would these individuals without Ukraine support? What kind of damage would these people actually do? Right? I have a feeling that once Trump is out of the picture and Ukraine wins against Russia, we have a lot more disagreements. Well, that's a shame, Davey. You know, you really do seem to repeat bog standard, crusty, right-wing talking points. And you do seem to have an aversion to taxing the rich as much as you give token agreements to it. You do seem to have this resistance to tax the rich, like you're some kind of billionaire, like protecting their money is important. Literally advocating for creating a messy, sloppy, means-testing bureaucracy over making Jeff Bezos pay a little bit more. But you're supposed to be pro-freedom. But anyway, Davey, thank you for sticking around regardless. Here's what an analyst thinks about Ukraine attacking Russia more.
Well, Russia says air defense systems shot down a number of drones flying towards Moscow this morning. Reports of drone attacks have emerged from across southern Russia and occupied parts of Ukraine. Moscow's airports were briefly closed this morning as the bridge between Russia and Crimea. Well, President Putin says Ukraine is trying to sabotage the Russian election. And joining me in the studio now this afternoon is our military analyst, Sean Bell, to talk us through all of this. So let's start with those drone strikes, Sean. They are reports of Ukrainian attacks on Russia overnight.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's no coincidence that the Ukraine...
By the way, Trump out of the picture. The Republican Party, the conservatives in America have permanently churned into the MAGA party. There's no going back. We're not, Mitt Romney isn't coming back, Davey. The enlightened centrist ain't coming back, dude.
Ukrainians have stepped up attacks on Russia during the course of the President Putin's election at all. Russian MOD claims they've shot down 35 drones. That included 5 that were apparently up targeting near the Moscow area in the north there. Russia also accused Ukraine of delivering a bomb on the top of a polling station in Zaporizhia down there. And there's also Ukrainian shellings continued at Belgorod, which is just on the Russian side of the border, very
Ukraine
close
wouldn't attack a polling
Ukraine.
station.
There's also reports of the Ukrainian security service have been attacking 3 oil refineries. Well, this is actually the attack of Belgorod at the moment.
Target.
But 3 oil refineries in the region of Samira region, which is a little bit further to the east and north of Crimea. Now, that is significant because it's about 10% of the oil that's refined by Russia is refined in that facility. But apart from that attack, most of these attacks, whilst they look pretty devastating, actually are not going to change the course of the war. But almost certainly the reason Ukraine's doing it is to remind Russia that Russia is in a war with Ukraine, and this is Putin's war.
Right, OK. And moving on to actually what's involving the UK, there are reports that Defence Secretary Grant Shapps had to cancel a trip to Odessa last month, I believe. What more can you tell us about that?
Yes, an interesting story has just come to light in the last couple of days, but we're seeing Grant Shapps meet President Zelensky here. But about 10 days ago, Grant Shapps and the Chief of the Defence Staff, Admiral Radakin, which are seen here, travelled from Poland across to Kiev, and they were meant to, the next day, go on a visit.
Yes, Chem Goblin, yes. I don't think Ukraine would intentionally attack a Russian polling station. If a Ukrainian drone fell on top of a polling station, it would have been because it was shot down by Russia. There's no way Ukraine intentionally targeted a polling station. No fucking way. Right? You're going to keep your record squeaky clean, but you're just going to, okay, fuck with them once. No.
Visit to Odessa. The trouble is that the Kremlin apparently found out about this visit, so intelligence suggested, therefore they cancelled the trip to Odessa for fear that the Defence Secretary would be targeted. Now, no great surprise of this, although by all accounts Grant Shapps was a bit annoyed that he might have been targeted, but the harsh reality is the UK is providing a lot of support to Ukraine, so that probably makes a legitimate target. What I think is the subtext to this, which is most interesting, though, is that the UK is providing lots of military advice to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Why is that? Surely Ukraine know how to fight. Well, part of it is because weapons like this Patriot system, high-tech weapons that the West has provided, allow you to fight in a different way. It's a different doctrine. Yeah. It's not the war of attrition, which Ukraine will be used to.
No, that's interesting.
And therefore, there will be lots of sitting down, floating ideas, brainstorming sessions.
No, it's kind of interesting. They don't have the resources to fight one-to-one the war that Russia is fighting, like with its artillery production and firing 1,000 artillery shells a day. They don't have that, but they do have. They got like some really, really good shit from the United States, and and they still have ammo for these incredibly long range, incredibly powerful weapons. So that is interesting, right? They're kind of lopsided right now. They need more conventional artillery to make up for that difference, but they can still be incredibly devastating with long-range targets with these high quality weapons, right? That they don't have a lot of, but they still have some, because they didn't blow their wad. he dumps the whole wad during the failed offensive, right, to try and make it up, and then he doesn't have any HIMARS left. No, I mean, look, they're doing the best thing. They really are doing the best thing. That to me is the biggest shame of all of this, is that I know Ukraine, not perfect. There's still lots of corruption. The military, there's still lots of work that needs to be done there. Women and gays, all that stuff. Yes. But God damn it, in my entire life, I've never seen a military that's being assisted by the United States, by the West, act in such a professional manner. Afghanistan army, pathetic. The Iraqi army, that the faction in the Iraqi army. I mean, the Vietnamese, the South Vietnamese, wasn't it, that we tried to help? You know what I mean? I mean, Ukraine deserves this help, and they've proven that they are capable of avoiding civilian catastrophes against civilians, right? And that's the big thing, right? Is if you just keep it on the military targets, and The professionalism is just unbelievable to me. And that professionalism should be rewarded. And Mike Johnson over here, and quite frankly, Joe Biden, who I just refuse to believe there's nothing else he could do. Oh, there's no executive orders. There's just no, and there's nothing you can do, huh? The number one arms dealer of the world just can't find a way to get a couple artillery shells over to Ukraine.
It's still up to Ukraine what they do, but they will have been advised. What the interesting thing, though, about this, which we can zoom out to the map, is one of the structures that we're hearing about, though, is actually a change of grand strategy, because it does appear that the Ukrainians have been advised to try to sect into a more defensive strategy up in the Donbass, where the Russians are pushing forward, allow them to suffer a high rate of casualties in the winter, with the Ukrainians trying to mount more targeting on Crimea. Now, it seems bizarre, because militarily, Ukrainians would struggle to take Crimea, but the key is, with the Black Sea Fleet out of the way now, if they were able...
Oh, yeah, he called me the FAG. Oh, man, if he only knew how much I get laid, dude, it is actually ridiculous. So, no, we got to deny that and go ahead and give him the ban. That is adorable.
Able to threaten Crimea, particularly the port of Sevastopol, then that would mean potentially Putin,
totally
because
banned,
that's a crown jewel for Russia,
right.
Potentially that would drag President Putin to the negotiating table. Seems a long way off at the moment, but that seems to be the core of that story.
So, Woke Patriot, you say that, but somehow Israel has, a catalog, there's no appropriations for Israel. And if there is an appropriation, it's rubber stamped. I get it though, right? Because I would like exceptions made for Ukraine, but I didn't like the exceptions that were made for Iraq and Afghanistan, Vietnam, and the Cuba and Venezuela, Syria. I'm not cool with all those unapproved or rubber stamped appropriations, right? So I do understand that I'm being hypocritical here. It's just like, okay, this is the one, we're okay, so we're hypocrites, okay? But Ukraine, gets starved, gets ammo starved. Isn't that cute? The one conflict, the one that the only one that I seemingly don't have a problem with. That's the one that we have a bunch of problems with. As much as I disagree with Davey, and boy, do I disagree with you, Davey. I do agree with Davey's prediction, though, that Trump will do a 180 on Ukraine. In fact, there is some evidence. Davey did post a link, Trump's speech, where he's kind of reframing the Ukraine situation. He's saying we should give them a loan, and obviously he the idea would be a loan that would never really be paid back, but maybe it would in the future. But they can campaign on that, whatever. But it's kind of a soft walking back of this anti-Ukraine rhetoric that he's had to, put into his campaign speech, because that was the right-wing attack target for the last 6 months. Look at all the money Joe Biden's wasting. Look at all the money Joe Biden's wasting. Yeah, very smart salesman. I guess that's a compliment coming from Trump, who considers himself the ultimate salesman. But I do think that is correct. But I don't want to wait that long. I don't want to wait for the November for Ukraine to get some help here from Uncle Sam, Anyway, Trump was mocking. He was trying to do both. He can't. Trump understands how to walk it back. Trump understands how to walk it back. He's opens up with the insult, which is what everyone's expecting, but a little soft 180 there at the end of that statement, right? Oh, I mean, he's still he's still a scumbag salesman, all the bad stuff. I still agree with all the bad stuff, but let's recontextualize how this relationship so that I could turn this into a W for me. Because what does Trump want to say? I was the reason why Zelensky defeated Russia, wow, because it would be it's an amazing thing for Ukraine to push back against Russia. It would be historic. You'd be like, I'm the greatest president ever. I helped, Ukraine defeat the bear Russia. right? It seemed impossible. Joe Biden wasn't doing it. But once I got in charge, turn that bitch right around. He wants that. That's a big W for I think he wants that more than he wants Putin as a friend. But what do I know? You can never trust what Trump says. You can never trust what he says. Because it's all about what you want to hear. Trump will tell you anything, almost anything. He's not stupid. He's really not a stupid person. He's not a stupid person. He knows how to manipulate. Yeah, Davey. I think he would do a calculation in his head of like, yeah, it's more important to be the hero that won against Russia than the guy that allowed Russia to win. But maybe not. This new crop of right-wing extremists are incredible cowards. And they'll convince themselves of anything. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this rambling news underground. Had some fun just doing a couple headlines here. I got to run. Kids got to go to a class or something. There's always something every fucking day. There's always something. So, gotta be a parent, gotta be an adult. I'd like to give big props to Chem Goblin, Davey, who is dead wrong about Social Security and many other things. But thank you all the same, Davey. Big props to Woke Patriot. Big props to Rongo EX. Thank you for coming in. I think I recognize that name. Big props to Lenny. Thank you, Lenny. What are we talking about here? Help me with a sub. Thank you. Oh, that's my YouTube. Oh, my God. That's not even the right YouTube. Oh, don't go there. That's not even the right. I haven't updated that command. Oh, I'm so pathetic. So pathetic. A guy who considers himself an alpha male doesn't negotiate with other self-described alpha males. Davey, you got to drop this whole libertarian nonsense. You got to throw this shit right in the trash, dude. I think you're making fun of the alpha male trope, though. But you know what I mean, though, man? Ultra Mega Chad. Come on, man. The Big Room. Big props to you, strategy member. Smash. Sorry, Smash. Yeah. I got a thing to do. You can already see Trump giving the press conference. Vladimir Putin is dead. He died like a dog. He died. Joe Biden couldn't do it. Joe Biden, the whole thing was stalemated. Nothing was happening. It took a real leader to come in and do exactly what Joe Biden was doing before my cadre of extremists got in his way. That's exactly what needed to happen. I followed the Joe Biden strategy to a T after I destroyed it, and look at that. Big winner. Winning. You sick of it. I know you're sick of it. News Underground, biatch. Don't forget to follow my 3-step program to create political change. Step 1, inform yourself. Step 2, join a progressive political organization in your area. Run for office. Do that union. Join that union. Do something. Put your name down on paper. Step 3, put in the work. This is a lifestyle. Creating political change is a lifestyle. Got to defend democracy. You got to earn that citizenship. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East and glory to Ukrainian democracy. I'll see you tomorrow. Tax the rich. Tax the motherfucking rich. Big props, Ice King of Space, Snow Pro. D-Meme. ROB. Reach Strader. Over there at Kick. John Axel. Thank you, Ice King of Space. Thank you. It's the News Underground, bitch. almost a ghost town.